The most important part of not sucking at blackjack is learning proper strategy. But before we dive too deep, let's go over the basics. To start, each player places a bet and is dealt 2 cards, as is the dealer. One of the dealer's cards remains hidden until the end, unless they have a blackjack. Your goal is to beat the dealer's hand without going over 21. An ace and a face card is called a natural blackjack. Many casinos pay a bonus for this. If you don't make a blackjack, you can hit or ask for another card if you want to improve your hand, or stand if you believe your hand can beat the dealer's. If your hand goes over 21, you bust and the dealer wins. Once every player at the table stands or has busted, the dealer's hidden card is flipped. The dealer must automatically hit until their cards total a certain number, usually 17 or higher. This number can vary depending on where you're playing, so double check the rules at your casino. If the dealer busts, or your total is higher, you win the hand and your bet is doubled. Remember, you're only playing against the dealer. What the other players have in their hands doesn't matter. If both you and the dealer are dealt a blackjack, the result is a tie, and your bet is returned. If your first 2 cards are a pair, you can choose to split and play them as 2 separate hands. If you choose to split 2 aces, you're dealt only 1 additional card per hand and aren't allowed to hit. After you receive your first 2 cards, you also have the option to double down. This means doubling your initial bet in return for 1 and only 1 more card. The best times to double are when you have an 11, but not when the dealer has an ace, when you have a hard 9 or 10 with the dealer showing a low card, or when you have a soft 16, 17, or 18 and the dealer is showing a low card. If the dealer's face-up card is an ace, you can make a side bet called insurance of up to half of your original wager. This bet pays 2 to 1 if the dealer makes a blackjack, meaning you'll break even if you don't make a blackjack of your own. Some casinos will let you surrender your hand after the initial deal. This is a strategic play you can make if you feel you have a little chance of winning and will cost you half of your initial bet. If you play basic blackjack strategy, you can reduce the house's edge to just 0.5%, the best odds you're going to get in most casino games. But without proper strategy, that number can rise as high as 8%. Therefore, it's imperative to play strategically if you don't want to suck. Study an odds chart to understand your probability of busting when you want to hit an extra card. It's important to study both your hand and the dealer's to determine your optimal play. Learn to work through a mental checklist with each hand you're dealt, and keep your odds chart nearby until you know the probabilities instinctively. This will help you determine whether or not you should surrender, split, double, or hit. Some casinos spread European blackjack, where the dealer isn't dealt a second card until after all the betting is finished. Since this prevents you from knowing if the dealer has a blackjack, it means you're more likely to lose money betting on hands you don't know you've already lost. European blackjack negatively affects your expected results, and for this reason, it should be avoided. Similarly, some casinos will only pay 6 to 5 on blackjacks instead of the standard 3 to 2. Avoid these games. On the other hand, playing single or low deck blackjack can increase your edge. With fewer decks in play, you can use your knowledge of which cards have already been dealt to predict what's likely to come next. Casinos will often counter this by tweaking the rules in their favor. If you can find a low deck blackjack game with no rule changes, jump on it while you can. By now, you should feel pretty comfortable with basic blackjack strategy. If you really don't want to suck, make sure you take advantage of the best possible bonuses. Check out Play USA's exclusive sign-up offers and get started today.